exactly. I mean, what you just said reminded me of this documentary. I don't know if you saw it, but if not, you have to watch it. It's
Probably
right
will.
up your alley. It's called The Man Who Built America. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. I'm gonna.
Oh my God. I want to know what you think about it after you watch it. It's
Okay.
not one single episode, it's multiple episodes.
I have been just diving into all these these dramatic documentaries of, things like how did um like all these startup companies, as far as like WeWork and all the like I can't get enough of these
Have you
things,
seen the Uber story? The super
Yes, yes,
Oh, that was great. That was great.
yes.
That was, that my favorite scene in that documentary. I want to tell you about this documentary. On that movie, Supercharged, was when he's served the cease and desist letter. They are out of business. That's it. They are done.
Yeah.
And he takes that and he turns that into a declaration of war or
More.
whatever. A victory. He turns that thing into a
Yeah.
victory and he gets everybody pumped up. I mean, it's unbelievable. But anyway, for you've got to watch this
A
documentary,
man who built
and
America.
everybody watching and listening to the show, you guys have to see this. It's called The Man Who Built America.
Man.
It's the story of Rockefeller,
Yeah.
J.P. Morgan,
I was gonna say, I'm like,
Carnegie, all these guys, Henry Ford, how they did it. Now, the uh, the guy, I should say the guys, there's two partners, but the founder who made this documentary is a friend of ours. They won the Emmy, and
nice.
he did a little uh, group event where he brought his team and they presented to us how they went about doing it. Now, the real story that it's a huge success. He has since sold this company, but he spent 5 years pitching the story to studios, and they
Yeah.
said no, no,
No.
no. And then finally, he figured out what makes it different is they use different formats. So documentaries are typically, some footage, somebody talking, and some documents.
Yeah.
So it's all that. And then they started to add reenactments. And what they did different, that was the deal breaker in terms of getting success, is whatever the subject matter was, they found celebrity like leaders talking about what that person had done. So in this show, they have Jack Welch, Mark Cuban, Donald Trump,
Nice.
and of all these different leaders,
It's like
business
a social
leaders,
media dream.
talking about Carnegie, talking
Right.
about J.P. Morgan. So
Love
it was
that.
a great thing. So the reason why I bring this up is if your competition does 50, you have to do 51. The minute
Yeah.
that you see that, you watch this, they say that successful entrepreneurs, they thrive on competition. The reason why they thrive on competition is because they live to take them out.
Yeah.
So it's I mean that's the name of the game. And I
Yeah.
tell you what, my all-time favorite move, Rockefeller. He's now on his way to being a huge success. He is distributing oil all over the country and he's expanding. And guess what he's using to transport? Trains, right?
Right.
Of course, because he's filling all their freight capacity, and that's why he can dictate the price. So what happens is the main guy, Vanderbilt, right? And the next guy, Nobody remembers the second guy, and I don't either. So the two of them, because they are in competition with each other, so they can't really do anything. The two of them get together and say, you know what? We keep going up against each other to get
Yeah.
his business. What if we agree and we go and we tell him, this is what we want, otherwise we're not carrying, and you are out of business. So they do that. So you know what Rockefeller does? He says, okay, give me a little time to think about this. And then he goes around his team and he's thinking, and so he comes back and he gives his answer. You know what his answer is?
No.
I'm not using either one of you. They say, well, how are you going to get your oil across the country? You know how?
Ocean.
He builds pipelines.
Pipelines. Okay.
Rockefeller is the one who created the pipelines.
It kind of reminds me of the when they changed the format for shipping for cross ocean shipping containers, when they actually built the container, the standardized containers, as opposed to just baled together pallets. They actually switched to the container, and they could do 10 times the volume than they did previously, and of course that continues to continue
Yeah,
to
but I mean, how are you going to get it from, let's say, Austin, Texas to Salt Lake City, Utah? You can't use ocean. You have to do it overland.
correct. Yeah, so pipeline would actually solve
Yeah.
that.
So,
Yeah.
but the son of a gun, he says, you know what? Competition, right? So this is not necessarily competing for oil. This is competing to stay alive, right? So
Right.
these guys come together and say, you know what? You need us more than we need you. He says, oh yeah, okay. Pipeline.
What? And that's part of the thing that I love about business is that, it's not about crushing the competition, right? It's not even about winning. It's about innovating, trying to
That's
be
it.
clever, more clever than I was before. It doesn't even
That's
have
it.
to be about anybody else. Am
No,
I clever enough to beat myself?
it's
And
rally
that's why I love startup,
Yeah,
business
it's rally
startups is I
driving
get to do
drive.
that.
Yeah, rally driving, because when you doing rally driving, it's all about yourself. You have a co-pilot next to you, and then he's constantly telling you, turn right, turn left, go straight, go straight. And so it's all about how you do more time,
Yeah.
and rather than Formula One, beating the next guy. I think it's a bit of a mindset.